Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive? Today we're all about leveling up your content game.
Ooh, content game. I like that.
Right, so we're going to be diving into some seriously insightful stuff from Gill Media.
Awesome.
Specifically, their blog post about how to prepare content for your marketing agency.
Definitely a must read.
So I'm sure you guys are all about creating content that grabs attention.
Oh, for sure.
Builds trust.
Absolutely.
And, actually gets results.
It's a holy grail.
And what's cool is Gill Media, they have some pretty surprising insights about this.
Yeah, like what?
Well, for one thing, they're not all about, the final product.
Interesting.
It's more than that. It's also about, the power of before pictures,
Before pictures.
Yeah. Yeah. And they even talk about how Gen Z actually has some really smart things to say about marketing.
Okay, now I'm intrigued. Let's break it down. What stood out to you the most?
I think one of the most fascinating things is how Gill Media emphasizes showcasing the process.
The process, not just the final product.
Exactly. So instead of just showing that super polished final piece, it's about giving people those behind-the-scenes glimpses.
Like a sneak peek.
Yeah. Think like before pictures.
Yeah.
Those work-in-progress shots.
Oh, I get it. So it's about transparency and showing the journey.
Yes. And that builds real trust with your audience.
Makes sense. People want to see the real deal, not just some manufactured perfection.
Right. Because, let's be honest, in a world where everyone's obsessed with perfect Instagram feeds.
Oh, tell me about it.
That rawness, that authenticity can be a real superpower.
I totally agree. It's like showing your vulnerability actually makes you stronger.
Exactly. It's like saying, hey, we're not perfect, but we're real and we're good at what we do.
And that's so much more relatable than trying to pretend you have it all figured out.
Absolutely.
So how do we actually put this into practice? How do we showcase that process effectively?
Well, Gill Media suggests capturing assets at every stage of a project.
Like what kind of assets?
Think progress photos, videos of your team brainstorming, even that initial client brief.
Oh, wow. Even the messy first draft.
Yep, even the client brief scribbled on a napkin.
I love that. It's about giving your audience a backstage pass, pulling back the curtain.
Yeah. And saying, hey, this is how we roll. This is how the magic happens.
That kind of transparency is huge for building trust.
Right. And it's not just about photos either. Gill Media also talks about the power of video, especially for, service-based businesses.
Makes sense. Video is so engaging.
Imagine like a walkthrough video where you're explaining a design concept.
I see, like showing your thought process.
Or a time-lapse of a website build.
Cool. That'd be so cool to watch.
Right. It's way more engaging than just reading a bullet point list of services.
Definitely. It humanizes the brand, puts a face to the name.
Yeah. You're not just some faceless company. You're real people with real skills.
Exactly. It helps potential clients connect with you on a deeper level.
Totally.
But I think a lot of people get intimidated by video. It can seem like a lot of work.
Oh, for sure. But Gill Media, they remind us that it doesn't have to be this Hollywood-level production.
That's a relief.
A simple, well-lit video shot on your phone that can be super effective.
Okay, that makes it feel more doable.
What matters is authenticity and clarity.
I agree. It's about the content, not the fancy equipment.
Exactly. So, focus on good lighting, minimize background noise, and most importantly...
What's most important?
Let your personality shine through.
Yes. Be yourself. People will connect with that.
Okay, so we've got visuals covered. But what about the words themselves?
Oh, yeah, the copy. Can't forget about that.
Right. Gill Media really stresses the importance of quality writing.
Makes sense. Words matter.
And it has to be tailored to your specific audience.
Of course. Different audiences, different language.
No more generic, one-size-fits-all content.
It's all about personalization these days.
Exactly. So before you even start writing,
yeah,
you need to understand who you're talking to.
Right. Get inside their heads.
What are their pain points? What keeps them up at night?
You gotta know what makes them tick.
And what kind of language resonates with them.
Yeah. What speaks to their soul?
The more you know,
yeah,
the better you can tailor your message.
It's like a puzzle, figuring out your audience.
A blog post aimed at tech-savvy millennials?
Yeah.
That's going to sound very different from one targeting, say, small business owners.
Totally different vibes.
Right.
And once you know your audience, you got to structure your content in a way that's engaging.
For sure. Keep them hooked.
Make it easy to digest.
Yeah, no one wants to wade through a wall of text.
Break it up. Use visuals, headings, bullet points.
Make it scannable.
Exactly. And don't forget storytelling.
Oh, stories are powerful.
Weave in those anecdotes and case studies.
Makes it more relatable.
And memorable.
Okay, so we've talked visuals, writing. Now let's get to the big one, the elephant in the room.
Dun, dun, dun. What is it?
SEO.
SEO. The beast we all have to wrestle with.
How do we actually get our awesome content seen by the right people?
That's the million-dollar question.
And Gill Media, they give us some solid tips to get started.
Okay, I'm all ears.
First off,
Yeah.
Keyword research. It's key.
Of course. Gotta know what people are searching for.
You need to understand what terms people are actually using when they're looking for stuff related to your business.
That's right. What's the language they're using?
Exactly. But it's not just about stuffing your content with keywords, right?
Oh, no, that's a big no-no.
It's more nuanced than that.
So what's the secret sauce?
It's about understanding the intent behind those searches.
An intent? Okay, I'm listening.
What is the user actually trying to find?
Right, what's their goal?
And then create content that actually answers those questions.
Be helpful, solve their problems.
And do it in a comprehensive and helpful way.
Got it. Provide real value.
So if someone searches for best content marketing tips,
Yeah.
they're not just looking for a random list of keywords.
Right, they want the good stuff.
They want actionable advice, maybe some case studies, real-world examples.
Exactly. Show them how it's done.
That's where high-quality content comes in.
Content is king or queen.
You need content that's optimized for search engines, but also valuable and engaging for your audience.
It's gotta tick all the boxes.
Okay, so we've covered the basics. Visuals, writing, SEO.
A good foundation.
But there's so much more to unpack when it comes to creating a killer content strategy.
Oh yeah, we're just getting started.
We've only just scratched the surface of Gill Media's insights.
Can't wait to dive deeper.
So stay tuned. We'll be back in a flash to explore even more of Gill Media's tips for creating content that connects and converts.
See you soon. All right, so let's dig a little deeper into Gill Media's playbook here.
Okay. Sounds good.
One thing that really stood out to me is their focus on giving clients choices.
Choices. Okay.
But without overwhelming them.
Oh, that's a good one.
Right.
I am so guilty of sending clients a fire hose of files sometimes.
Well, yeah.
Way too much.
It's a common trap.
It is.
Well, you got to think about it from the client's perspective.
Yeah, put yourself in their shoes.
They don't want to have to sift through 100 photos to find the perfect one. They want a curated selection.
Makes sense.
Right.
Saves them time.
Exactly.
Highlights the best of your work.
It's like you're not just a content creator.
You're a curator.
You're a curator, yeah.
Presenting a carefully chosen collection.
I like that.
Shows you respect their time.
Respect.
Makes the decision-making process easier.
So much easier.
Yeah.
And this principle applies to all aspects of content creation.
Really?
Yeah, whether it's choosing images, writing website copy, or even scripting a video.
Okay.
It's about quality over quantity.
Less is more.
Exactly.
Speaking of video.
Oh yeah, video.
Gill Media drops some serious knowledge bombs about incorporating video into your content strategy.
They do.
I mean, we all know video is powerful.
Oh, yeah.
But they really break down why it's so effective.
Why is it?
Well, they highlight that video can boost conversion rates.
Boost them how much? Significantly, like landing pages with videos, can see an 80% jump in conversions.
80%?
Wow.
Yeah, that's huge.
That's a lot.
Those numbers speak for themselves.
I do.
But it's not just about slapping any old video up on your website.
Right. It's got to be good.
Gill Media provides some really practical tips to make sure your videos are actually engaging and effective.
Like what kind of tips?
Like keeping them short and sweet.
Short and sweet. Okay.
Between 10 and 30 seconds.
Got it.
For those quick attention-grabbing pieces.
Little snippets.
Yeah.
Okay.
Focusing on good lighting.
Lighting is key.
And shooting from multiple angles.
Makes it more dynamic.
To make them visually interesting.
Keep it interesting.
Right. And they talk about the rule of thirds.
Rule of thirds.
For those human-centered videos.
Okay.
Which makes a surprising difference in how professional they look.
Interesting.
And for project videos. Minimizing background noise is key.
Yeah. Get rid of those distractions.
So the focus stays on the work itself.
That's right.
Basically, you want to make sure your videos are clear.
Clear. Concise.
Yeah.
And easy to watch.
Easy to watch, for sure.
No shaky cam or distracting audio.
No shaky cam.
Right.
Please.
Okay, so we've covered visuals, video, writing.
What else is there?
What about connecting all of this to the bigger picture?
Ooh, the big picture.
Gill Media emphasizes that all these elements work together.
They do.
To create a cohesive brand experience.
Oh, that's so important.
It's about telling a consistent story across all your content channels.
Across all channels.
Whether it's your website, social media, email marketing.
Everything has to work together.
Everything needs to feel connected.
Right.
And it's not just about looking pretty.
It's more than that.
It's about conveying your brand's personality, values,
Yeah.
expertise.
It's who you are.
Exactly. Gill Media really hammers home that point.
They do.
That your content should be a reflection of who you are as a brand.
Be authentic. Which brings us back to that idea of authenticity.
Full circle.
It's not just about following trends or trying to be like everyone else.
Be yourself.
It's about letting your unique voice and perspective shine through.
That's what makes you stand out.
And that's what will ultimately make your content stand out and resonate with your audience.
Connect with them.
People can spot a fake a mile away.
Oh, yeah.
You can't just copy and paste what everyone else is doing.
Nope.
You have to put your own spin on things.
Let's get your own.
Inject your personality.
Yeah.
And create something that's truly your own.
That's the good stuff.
Exactly. And that's what makes content marketing so exciting.
It is exciting.
It's a chance to get creative.
For sure.
Experiment.
Try new things.
And find what works best for you and your brand.
Find your groove.
But it's also a lot of work.
It is.
And I think sometimes, especially when you're starting out,
yeah,
it can feel overwhelming.
Oh, absolutely.
So much to do.
Yeah. Where do you even begin?
Right. But that's where Gill Media's advice is so valuable.
It is.
They provide a roadmap.
Okay.
A framework.
To keep you on track.
For creating content that's not only effective.
Right.
But also manageable.
Manageable. That's key.
And they remind us it's a journey.
Not a destination.
You don't have to do everything perfectly from the start.
Give yourself some grace.
It's about making small, incremental improvements over time.
Little by little.
And celebrating those wins along the way.
Yes. Celebrate those wins.
Because let's face it, creating great content is a huge accomplishment.
It is. It's hard work.
And it's so rewarding when you see your content connecting with your audience.
The best feeling.
And driving real results for your business.
Seeing that ROI.
Totally.
So as we continue our deep dive into Gill Media's insights, I'm curious to explore what they have to say about staying ahead of the curve.
Staying ahead of the curve.
Because the world of content marketing is constantly evolving.
It is.
New platforms, new trends. It's a lot.
It feels like there's a new platform or trend popping up every week.
Every week.
I know.
So how do we stay relevant?
Right.
How do we make sure our content continues to connect with our audience?
That's the million-dollar question.
I think Gill Media might have some answers.
I have a feeling they do.
Let's find out.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back to dive into that next. So we're back and ready to wrap up our deep dive into Gill Media's content marketing wisdom.
And I have to say, their insights have really got me thinking differently about how we approach content.
Yeah, me too. Like, one thing that keeps coming back to me is their point about good content being an investment.
Oh, yeah, not just an expense.
It's so easy to get caught up in the day-to-day and just see it as another task to check off the list.
Oh, totally. Just churn it out. Get it done.
But when you shift your mindset and view it as an investment.
An investment in what?
In your brand.
Okay, yeah.
Your audience. Your long-term success.
It changes everything.
Right. It's like planting seeds.
I like that analogy.
You nurture them, you give them time, and eventually you see the fruits of your labor.
Those fruits can be pretty sweet.
They can be. Increased brand awareness.
More leads.
Loyal customers.
All because you took the time to create content that matters.
Exactly. And Gill Media, they really get that.
They do.
They understand that content isn't just about pushing out sales messages.
Right. It's not just about the hard sell.
It's about providing value, building relationships,
becoming a trusted resource,
establishing yourself as a trusted resource in your industry.
Exactly. Give people a reason to come back to you.
And that's where their advice on showcasing the before picture comes in again.
Oh, yeah, the before picture. Such a good point.
It's just simple but powerful way to show your expertise and build trust.
It's like, look, we know what we're doing.
Think about it.
Okay.
Would you rather work with a company that only shows you the perfectly polished end product?
The flawless facade?
Or one that's transparent about the challenges, the process, the warts and all the journey?
Definitely the one that's real.
Right. It's like showing the before picture is saying,
what's it say?
Hey, we get it. Things aren't always perfect.
I've all been there.
But we have the skills and the experience to help you transform those befores into afters you'll love.
It's a transformation story.
And that's what people are looking for.
What are they looking for?
Someone who understands their struggles.
Someone who gets it.
And can guide them to a solution.
A trusted guide.
Exactly. And Gill Media reminds us that content creation It's an ongoing process.
It never ends.
It's not a one-and-done deal.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
You need to be constantly learning,
Always learning.
adapting, evolving your strategy to stay ahead of the curve.
Because the curve is always changing.
Especially in today's digital landscape where things change at lightning speed.
Oh, tell me about it.
New platforms emerge.
Algorithms shift.
Audience preferences evolve.
It's a lot to keep up with.
It can feel overwhelming,
It can.
but it's also exciting.
It is. Keeps things interesting.
Right. It keeps us on our toes.
Forces us to be creative.
Forces us to be creative and innovative.
Exactly. And that's where Guild Media's emphasis on understanding your audience comes in.
Right. Know your people.
Because by staying attuned to their needs and their interests,
Yeah.
you can create content that remains relevant and engaging.
No matter what's happening in the digital world.
It's all about connection.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Guild Media's insights,
It's been a good one.
let's leave our listeners with a final thought.
A thought to ponder.
Think about one thing you can do today
Just one thing.
to elevate your content game.
Level up.
Maybe it's shooting a quick behind-the-scenes video for your Instagram stories,
Ooh, fun.
or brainstorming some blog post topics that address your audience's most pressing pain points,
Give them what they need.
or even just taking a few minutes to review your website copy
Make sure it's on point.
and make sure it's clear, concise,
And
and speaks directly to your ideal customer.
talk to her.
Whatever it is, take action,
Do the thing.
because creating great content is an investment that pays dividends over time.
Invest in yourself. Invest in your content.
So get out there, create content that matters, and watch your business thrive.
You got this.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.